Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video where I'm going to be ranking some of my latest purchases, some of the things that I have been trying out. Most of these things I have been trying out for about a month. Usually when I do a haul, I come back about a month later and I just rank the stuff that I've been trying, do a little bit more of a deeper review for you, letting you know which things have been working out and which things have not been working out. Because the first impression is all fine and dandy, but I want to use it more and I want to get back to you and let you know whether or not stuff has been working out. And if you haven't been here before, if this is your first video here, hello, my name is Angie. I am such a lover of beauty makeup. I love everything beauty makeup related. I love trying all of it, so you don't have to. And if you want to see some more makeup videos on the timeline, do not forget to subscribe because I upload several videos every week. And I was actually gonna film something totally different today. I had a package that was gonna be delivered today, but then it wasn't. FedEx, love that. So I actually don't really have a lot of makeup on. I have a couple of things on. If I remember what I put on, I just did something quickly to film this. I will put that in a pinned comment, or if I have space in the description box, because in the description box, I will link all of the things that I'm talking about today. And I will like put videos as well where I'm trying these things. If you want to see like a demo, swatches, all of those things, check the description box. It's full of information. And if you do shop through my links, thank you so much for supporting my channel. But what I wanted to say is that I'm normally into very dramatic makeup, and that's not what we have today. So I decided to do like just a somewhat fresh face and a lippy that we're going to be talking about today. Actually, a couple of things I have on my face that we're going to be talking about today. Just it's not that deep. I also am wearing my own merch. This is the one that has a big one in the back, the Team Science merch. I love my merch. I think it's absolutely amazing. So there is a link to my merch shop as well down below. I love my merch. I think my merch is amazing. I love this one. Like, my husband wears this all the time. I don't talk about it that much because I don't want to be like, go buy my merch, but I honestly love my merch, so do check that out as well. Although this one has a ice cream stain on it here. I feel like I'm in that like, I'm so relatable, but honestly I'm just lazy. That's where I'm at. I'm lazy. Let's start at the absolute bottom. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start at the bottom. I'm gonna let you know which one of these items were my absolute least favorite, and then I'm gonna end at the tippity top. I do have quite a bunch of good products, but and this is pretty unusual. I have a basket in front of me full of products that I actually don't like. And this is not that common. Usually, I do not try a lot of makeup that doesn't work. Because I feel like most makeup that is released nowadays, it's at least okay. Or like decent. There's very few times when stuff is being released where I'm like, what is this? It's few times. So there's a couple of things here that I honestly, it's not for me. It's not for me. Let's start with the thing that let's start with the thing that I personally don't think is incredibly good quality-wise. And then we'll work our way up to stuff that there's nothing wrong with them, but it's just not my preference, like doesn't fit my skin type or doesn't fit like the type of makeup that I like to do. I know some people are saying that they really like this one, but I gotta say, this NYX new Wonder Stick, I mean, I have tried this a couple of times. I'm wearing it today as well, and I'm putting this at the bottom. It's nice. It's okay. But honestly, this is so hard to blend. Like the bronzer side, this side. This one is in, is this light medium? Light medium. And there is a highlighter stick on the other side. This is kind of hard to blend. It is a little bit more on the stiffer side. The highlighter side is, there's nothing wrong with the highlighter. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with the highlighter. I just feel, and this is me, and I just talked like to my friends, and I was like, is there another cream bronzer at the drugstore that I could recommend? Because I think that this one is a little hard to blend. I'm gonna be honest with you. Honestly, like, if you buy this one, you can make it work. But like, just looking at some of my favorite cream bronzer products that are so effortless and easy to blend, this isn't that. This isn't super easy to blend. This is one of those products, and I think there is a clear distinction between being a good product and a product that's good for the price. This is good for the price. I do wish though to try some other cream bronzers from the drugstore to be able to find something that I can actually recommend. The best affordable cream bronzer that I have found so far is the Soul Body one, which is the body care brand from Colourpop. That cream bronzer is really good. It's like a cream balm. It's a really good product. Unfortunately, you have to order it to get it, but That's just how I feel about that. Let's actually put these, and I'm just gonna put these here because I don't think that these are awful, but there are so many good colorful eyeshadows on the market. You don't need to buy these. And with that being said, I still really liked, let me see if I can open this one. I still really liked both of the looks that I did with these palettes, but they are definitely not effortless. They are definitely not buildable. They are definitely not, they feel a little dusty and dry. The blue one is better than the orange one, and it's mainly because the purples in this one isn't like that much to write home about. They are decent, and had these been e.l.f., I would have been like, yeah, they're okay. Like they're decent, like good for the price, but they're not even good for the price because these are Sephora Huda Beauty eyeshadows. Just get some ColourPop, get some BH Cosmetics, or try an indie brand. This just isn't that. And if you want to have a really good orange and blue eyeshadow palette, get that Glamlight Frosted Flakes palette. It is incredible quality, and it is actually like good orange and blue shadows. And if you want to have the purple as well, try the Solmåne 2 palette, the one from Oden side, the one they released that's being restocked, I think 10th of July. That is like purples, blues, and oranges. Try that one instead. Those are like two palettes with similar color stories at, let's be honest, a similar price range. That are actually good quality. I've heard that the Huda Beauty big palettes are incredible. There's just something up with these small palettes. I really think she needs to work on the quality with these. That's just my humble opinion. And then I'm gonna put this one. This is the So Glassy Lip Gloss by ColourPop. This is incredibly sticky. I have the one that is the first release. Let me see if I can, I don't know if you can, like, do you see? I lost that one. It's here somewhere. But it's sticky. It is sticky. It made my lips almost glue together. I was like, I put it on and I mushed my lips together, and immediately I was like, this is a mistake. This was a mistake.
Mistakes have been made.
Not a fan of this. I will say though that my friend Samantha Marge did bring one of these to New York, and I said, ooh, I don't like that formula. And she said that she liked the ones that came out in the newer collection with that like big neutral palette with pops of greens and the powder bronzers that they released. They had some So Glassy lips in there as well, and she said that she liked those more. So maybe I'll give them another chance. But these one, the ones that came out first with the glitter in them, very sticky. Not my favorite formula at all. Now I have a couple of things here that are just not my vibe. They're just not my vibe. And let's start with the thing that I am actually the least, I'm not gonna be using this again. I'm gonna be giving this away, and it's just not made for me. This is the Rare Beauty Skin Tint Positive Light Tinted Moisturizer. This is so dewy, so dewy. I am a glazed donut with this one. Like, no highlighter needed. You remember that like full face of highlighter like challenge that we had a couple of years ago? Pepperidge Farm remembers. This is that. This is like that look, but with one product. On me, this is a no-go. I became so greasy so quickly. So I just couldn't. If you have dry skin, or if you like a very dewy look, maybe this is for you. I will say though, to this one's defense, it did not break up on me. So like the oils and the dewiness didn't break up the product. It just looked away where I'm like, that's a no-go. And it took like 2-3 hours for it to look super dewy. And it also really just hammered in with me that I do not like a super dewy skin. I actually prefer like this. This is like, I've powdered my face and I've put a little highlighter on. I think I just prefer a satin matte or like a skin-like finish. I don't want to look too dewy. It's not my journey. Let's talk about the Hindash palette. I feel bad putting this low down, but this isn't for me. I thought this was gonna be for me because of the color scheme. I thought that what I was gonna get was that like effortless all matte look going from like pastel to dark, but this is a sheer formula that is buildable, but I still, according to me, do not feel like I can build this up to the intensity that I prefer. I like dramatic makeup and this isn't that. But now I know that. Now I know that this isn't dramatic makeup. And sometimes you need to know that as well. It is extremely blendable. It is buildable, blendable. It is absolutely not patchy. There is really nothing wrong with this other than that it is exactly what I don't like in makeup, which is sheer. I just want something that's full on opaque. And that is something that I've learned with time. I want something that's full on opaque, especially when you're talking about these colors. I need them to be opaque. Will say I've been using these as blushes and they're effortless, beautiful. I just don't want a sheer formula in these colors. It's not my jive, it's not my journey, it's not what I'm here to do. There are other things from this collection that I like a lot more, but now I know. Now I know that this is more a sheer buildable formula. That's just not my journey. The next thing is also something that I am very unlikely to be using again. And this is one of those products that I know that, I mean, you know, at the end of the year, I have a bunch of like reviewing all my makeup, ranking all my makeup, letting you know about the best and the worst, and you know, decluttering and all that. So I always save all of my new releases towards the end of the year. But this palette is definitely going to be given to a neighbor, a friend, a lover of makeup after the end of this year, because this isn't for me. I don't hate the quality of this palette. I don't think the quality of this palette is bad at all. I don't think it's the most amazing quality I've ever used though. I think it is decent quality. I was actually expecting the shimmers to be a little bit more creamy, but on the other hand, there's nothing wrong. Like, you can make this work. I was just expecting, and that was just me. Listen, this was me. This is me, what I was expecting. I looked at this and I was like, oh, this could be like a, you know, one of those neutral palettes with a twist, the neutral palette that's just to like surprises you. There's no surprises here. What you see is what you get, and this is definitely a neutral palette for neutral lover, and I am not that. So this is like more a mistake on my part, thinking that I was gonna get something other than what we were seeing here. So for me, this is just a little bit of an uninspiring color story. I need something that has a little bit more unexpectedness to it, and I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was just like curious about the Jaclyn Hill formula, and how I feel about it is that if I am to buy an eyeshadow from the Jaclyn Cosmetics line again, it has to be a color story that is 100% me. There are some formulas, and I'm gonna show you that in a bit, where I like the formula so much that I am able to manipulate the formula to make it dramatic or to make it unexpected to fit me, but this isn't that. So I can like neutral palettes as well. I just had that one had a little bit more like spectacular shimmers, or like some like maybe a duochrome, or something that, like, I don't know, when you open the palette, those three beiges at the top actually didn't look alike, but they do look alike. So for that reason, I'm putting it there. Let's talk about this one, because I'm actually not very probable to be using this one either, and this is just a preference thing. There's actually, like, I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with this product. This is the cream bronzer from Nomad Beauty. This one is in Front Row Center. It is a stunning, looks like my lip color, like terracotta orange. This one doesn't dry down on me, but if you have a dry skin, you might like that. If you like the Tower 28 blushes that also do not dry down on me, or the Tower 28 bronzer that also did not dry down on me, you might like this one. I don't like it for that reason. I need something that dries down to something that's a little less sticky than this. If it dries down and still is like a cream, I can live with that, because I have some products that I really like that doesn't dry down to a powdery base, but this was just a little bit too sticky for me. And I also think that the formula, for my liking, is just a little bit too sheer when I worked it in to warrant having to work with that stickiness. So it's not a product that I love. I don't dislike it, but it's not for me. Next, I'm going to mention something that I have been reviewing actually for quite a long time, and I have had a hard time figuring out how I really feel about this. This is the Glam Shop cream bronzer. I have it in biscuity. I'll put it down below. This is nice, but it is not as creamy as some of my other cream bronzers in a pot. This is a Polish indie brand, and I do not hate this bronzer. I think that this is nice, but it is, I feel a little bit similar. I like this one more though than I like this one, because this one you can go with a brush like this and blend it on your skin, but it is more creamy than the NYX one. But it is not as creamy as some of the ones that I really love, because I really love the one from Rare Beauty, the one I said from Soul Body, really wonderful. The Milk cream bronzer in a stick, the Rare Beauty is probably the best one. This isn't that. It's not bad, but it isn't that. And when there are so many incredible formulas out there that I could be recommending, and you try something that's just like okay, and also this packaging is not ideal, it just makes you go like, there's nothing wrong with this, I just don't love it as much as the formulas that I think are amazing. I'll squeeze this in at the same spot as the Rare Beauty blush stick, because I feel the same about these. This is a plumping lip gloss from Beauty. There is nothing wrong with this lip gloss. It looks really pretty on the skin. I will not be using it though, because this is not the plumping lip gloss that's cooling. It's a plumping lip gloss that's stinging, and I don't like stinging lip glosses, but if you do, I didn't think there was anything other wrong with this lip gloss other than it was hurting my lips, and I'm a baby and I don't want that. Now let's do the Colourpop Pretty Fresh powder. I'm actually wearing this one today. I am wearing it in light 8. This is the shade that I have on my face today, a little bit over the foundation that we're going to be talking about in a bit. There's nothing wrong with this one. I don't think it is as effortless and as light on the skin as some of the other powders that I have been liking. It is also an absolute matte, and I kind of like the powders that I've been having that have, like I said, a satin matte, a skin-like finish, because I have powders like that just look effortless on the skin, and I feel like this one is just, I think this is it's a pressed face powder. It does have some coverage, but there are other powders with little coverage that I prefer. Nothing wrong with it. I will keep using it, but it's not my favorite. I hope that this makes sense. I actually wish that this one had a little bit of luminosity to it, because I feel like then it would be just an effortless sheer coverage out the door powder. I just feel, and this comes from someone that likes a matte face, I just think it's a little bit too matte. This is in the okay category, and I'm gonna put all of these eye products that I tried from Beauty. I don't think there's anything wrong with any of these products. It's not like I am super blown away by any of these, but I will say, if you're the kind of person that likes shopping in store, if you like trying some different formulas or some different, like, because this is a duochrome and this is a like sheer iridescent topper. This is a, I will link the video down below where I'm using Beauty. I hope I have been calling it this correctly, because I feel like I'm saying Beauty and Rare Beauty interchangeably, and if I've said the wrong one, I apologize, but Beauty, and this is like a liquid shadow with a doe foot. If you are the person that likes shopping in store and you like finding new and kind of interesting formulas and not having to order online from brands, you might really like these stuff. I think they're really decent. The eyeshadow palette is cute. I actually like the packaging when you like see it in real life. It actually has some weight to it. It looks kind of futuristic and kind of cool, honestly. This eyeshadow palette is decent. I wish for me that the shimmers were a little bit more spectacular, and I kind of wish that these were amped up even a little bit more, but I realize who this is for. This is for consumers that will walk into Ulta, they will see these and they will be like, oh, that's a little bit different, because they are. Compared to a lot of stuff that you see at Ulta, they are a little bit different. So I do highly recommend you, if you are in the market for something different and if you are able to go into store, go in and look at these. There's nothing wrong with them, but for me, who's tried so many indie brands, they're not spectacular, but I don't dislike them. I highly recommend you to go and check out the REM gondola if you're close to an Ulta. It's actually kind of nice. I don't hate it. The highlighters is the best. We're gonna get to the highlighters in a bit. I feel like I jumped ahead in this video, but do check these out as well when you're there. We are gonna talk about some more Beauty. Okay, let me get some more stuff. I have it on the floor, and we can start getting into some stuff that I have truly been enjoying. The first thing I want to talk about is the foundation that I have on my face today. This is from Basma Beauty, and this is a foundation stick that is, it's like a light coverage, I would say, like a light medium coverage. It holds up really good on the skin. I wouldn't say that this is for you if you have dry skin. I even noticed when I put this on today, I was like, oh, I should have exfoliated. That's what I noticed when I put this on. I have mine in 029. I have a video on this, I will leave it down below. The way that this held up on my skin was incredible. It really did hold up on my skin and look really good throughout the day. I wish I had this in like a shade darker than this, because I had to like bronze up a little bit. This isn't really my summer shade. Let me just put it like that. It is a decent shade, but I wish I had bought this in one shade darker. I think it looks good on the skin, but I definitely will say that when I get a little closer, it's not looking immaculate on the skin. But I liked it. It held up good on the skin. It's my absolute favorite like foundation of all time. Not really. I have others that I like more on my skin, but I'm still gonna use it. I think it's a decent one, especially if you like stick foundations and you think a lot of the ones that you have tried have been a little bit too oily or smeary or meant for dry skin. This might be for you. I will link the video down below. Let's talk about the lip formula that I have on my lips today. This is in the shade Overfly, which is this one. It is a more orangey shade. This is the Blur liquid lipstick from Nyqvist Cosmetics. It is a blurring, not fully opaque, more mousse-like formula, meant so you can have blurred lines, or if you want to do like more ombre lips. It is one of those more moussey, you know, blurry looking lip formulas that they look really nice on the lips. This just isn't a kind of formula that I personally use a lot of. I like it to be either sheer and glossy or matte and opaque, or like I don't usually go for something that's sheer and matte. But if you are that person, I will say these are really nice. These are really pretty on lips. I do have a swatch reel, TikTok reel, something like that. I will link it down below. The only shade, let me put it on. The only shade that's not perfect is this purple. It is a little bit streaky, and I think you will see that in the swatch video as well. If you are looking for a blurry, matte, moussey lipstick, these are nice. There's nothing wrong with them. I just don't think it's a formula that I will be reaching for again and again and again. Let's talk about the Hidden Dash lipstick. I actually really like this formula. This is this like almost blurring matte formula that the lipstick that I have on now, but more opaque, which is something I prefer. And I actually really love a bullet lipstick as well. My heart will always beat for a nice bullet lipstick. This bullet component is beautiful. I have the shade Call Me Peaches. I know that there is like a rose shade as well, and I really do like this shade. It is actually a little bit more of a milky peach than I usually go for, but I will say I like this color, I like this formula, and if he comes out with colors that I feel could be even more my vibe, I'm definitely gonna pick them up because I like this formula. Is this a color that I'm gonna be reaching for a lot? Not really. And I will also say, like, this is a nice formula, but I will say, when it comes to matte lipstick that has like very much impressed me lately, I think the Give Beauty matte lipsticks does take the prize because I like those even more. Let me do the Hidden Dash Boy Tears here as well. I think this formula is incredible, but I think that this color is something that I am not gonna get a lot of use out of. I do have the video where I'm using Hidden Dash. I use this on my cheeks. It is a way too blinding on my cheeks. I don't like an icy glow like that, but if you like a really blinding, almost sparkly highlight, I think you would really like this one. I've used it on my eyes as well, and then when I use it on my eyes and really just use this on my eyes, it is like a wet look and it looks really, really cool. I do have a, is it a reel using this like on its own on my eyes for a wet look. Looks really, really incredible. I think this formula, this formulation and how you can use this is incredible. This is just not my perfect shade. It's not a product that I will be using a lot, but if you are that kind of person that want to have something effortless that gives you a wet look on the lids but actually does dry down, maybe this is for you, because it's a nice product. I just don't know how much I'm gonna reach for it, but I think that that product has a really good formulation. Let's talk about the Sweet as Can Be from Winnie the Pooh. This is the Winnie the Pooh collection that Colourpop did with Winnie the Pooh. Wow.
Captain Obvious in the building.
This is a really fun palette. I like the color story more than I like the, not the quality. There's nothing wrong with this quality. I've talked about this before. I feel like Colourpop is becoming what BH Cosmetics used to be, that they have a good formula and then they have a great formula. And this is a good formula, but it isn't that great formula that is like buildable until infinity and beyond, where the shimmers are incredible. It's a nice formula. It's nice. I really like it. It's definitely worth the price and even more. I mean, this is still better than like the last palette I tried from Urban Decay, if we're gonna be honest. And I think the packaging is beautiful, the theming is beautiful, the other things in the collection is beautiful. Remember last month I put the highlighters from this collection at spot number 1. Those are absolutely the winner of that show, the winner of that collection. Those run, do not walk, and I don't say that easily. This palette, it's nice, especially if you're a collector and if you like these shades. It's not a bad palette. You just don't think that this is gonna be like in my top 10 palettes from Colourpop, even though I think it's a nice palette. Let's talk about the lipstick formula from Nomad Beauty. She's coming up with more lipsticks now. I don't know if you saw, we're probably going to talk about that in new makeup releases that was last Friday. She's coming up with more lip products, and I will say this lipstick is an incredible formula, and it is a little bit more sheer than you can see here. I'm pretty sure this is Tiramisu. That is too old for this small font. Yes, Tiramisu. And it is like, I don't know if you can see, it's like a velvety comfort matte. It is one of those lipsticks that has a little bit of silicone in it. It goes on beautifully, and I think you can see as well, it is like just a hint lighter on the lips than it is in this bullet, and it just looks effortless on the lips. It feels wonderful, and I really, really like this formula. I will say, I've looked at this, like I said, I've looked at this boot, gondola, whatever, when I was at Ulta, and none of the shades, I don't want any of the shades. This is the best shade of the range that fits my aesthetic, but I still don't think it's a perfect shade. So I'm hoping she's gonna put out more in this, because I love the packaging with the little astronaut like detail here. Love that. This color is my favorite out of the bunch. I think I'm gonna put the Dragon Fruit palette by Nomad Cosmetics and Emily Violet Marie here. And I'm only putting this here because it is an all shimmer palette, and I rarely, if ever, reach for an all shimmer palette. I just don't. And there's nothing wrong with that. There are so many people right now that are loving this trend with all shimmer palettes. Like, I see you in the comments all the time letting me know how excited you are about that trend. I'm just not that person. I will always prefer a good matte shadow over a good shimmer shadow. I just think that mattes are the foundation of any good eyeshadow look, in my humble opinion, although I know there's a bunch of you out there that feel differently. I do have a video on this. I can put the highlighters in here as well. They're really nice, good quality highlighters. This is a really nice palette if you like an all shimmer palette. I just do not reach for that. We'll say that both of these green shades down here are very, very different and impressive, and I loved the look that I did with this palette. So I will link the video down below if you are in the market for an all shimmer palette and maybe you haven't tried Cleonad. Maybe this could be for you. I will link it down below. Had this had some corresponding mattes in her as well, we would have been singing a whole different tune. Still think the palette is incredible quality. It is just not perfect for me due to the lack of my favorite shades, which are the mattes. I'm gonna put this on top, and it's only because I've been getting more use out of this one, and because this one is something that I really like. I'm letting the blush palette, this is the Nude Prism blush palette, I'm letting it slide in at the same direction. I will say Manny does make really, 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 really good blushes. This is a really nice blush formula. This one has a little bit of shimmer in it, and also this pink one has a little bit of, not shimmer, but like a little bit of a sheen to it. I like this color story of this blush palette more than I like the other one, because this one is leaning a little bit more on the neutral side, and the other one was leaning a little bit more on the pinky side, and I'm more about like the neutral blushes or the warmer orange leaning blushes, like this like terracotta one here, than I am a blush that's like more pinky. That's just my vibe. These are great quality. These are really nice. But let's talk about this nude eyeshadow palette. I don't usually go for a lot of nude eyeshadow palettes, but this is what I mean with that I think was lacking from the palette from Jaclyn Cosmetics, because this one has incredibly shiny, shimmery, high intensity, almost super shock formula, like shimmers in the middle, and it goes really deep. You have like 3 really deep shades here. Well, one of this is a black, But this one is such a dark burgundy that when you use this one and some of these like peachy or pinky ones, it's like you made an almost burgundy eye look. Like you think you open this palette and you're like, oh, so it's a brown palette. But this is what I'm saying with unexpected elements. That was unexpected for me, that if I choose to build around this look, it actually looks a little burgundy. I also love that we have this super contrasting, like almost white gold, like metallic, and then we have just a dark black matte. I love that. So for me, this is a neutral palette that fits me. It goes from really light to really dark, and it has some unexpected things. Plus the shimmers are so incredibly pretty and impactful on the eyes. So for this formula, you actually can build around the shimmers. I even did a bronze smoky eye that I honestly think is one of the best neutral eye looks I've ever done, because the bronze on my eyes just looked so incredible. And that's what I'm saying, what I need from a neutral palette. I need to be surprised for me to really like a neutral palette. But yeah, I really did enjoy this one. Again, I will link the video down below where I'm using this. I do have a code with some of these brands that I'm talking about. I do have a code with Lunar Beauty. I think there's some other here. Check the description box for more info. I know my code with Lunar Beauty is Angelica, and you can get 10% off. But yeah, I like that neutral collection, and I realize why brands sometimes need to have some neutrals in their collection, because at the end of the day, most consumers out there, they're really looking for a good neutral palette. And if you're looking for a good neutral palette, that one is really good. I think a lot of people are going to be surprised that I'm putting this as low as I'm putting, but I like it, but I don't love it. I like it for what it is. This is the Natasha Denona Pastel palette. I thought I was gonna love this more than I do, and I haven't reached for this as much as I thought I would, and I kind of want to use it more. I love pastels as accent colors, and I think that this is a really good palette, but it's not one of her best palettes. It is good, but not perfect. I don't know what I wish. You know what? You know what? You know what would have made me reach for this palette even more, and I'm gonna be 1,000,000% honest with you, if this was a matte white. Cause I reached for this one. I even have it here in front of me because I've been reaching for it so much, and this is the Lost in Los Angeles. And it has a matte white in it. And I actually reached for it yesterday when I was to do my look. And even though I think that this is really good, if you are looking for a pastel palette, I still recommend this one because it is incredible. And it's not only like good for the price, like that is a great palette regardless of the price. And this is a great palette too, but there is a big price difference between these two. And that's why I just can't put this at number one, because I'm like, this isn't unique to my collection. And like you saw yourself, the last time that I reached for a pastel palette to use as an accent, I didn't reach for this one. I reached for my drugstore one. That actually does say something. Still good quality though. I just recently did a video that was like the best eyeshadow palettes that have been released in 2022 so far, and this palette just missed the list. And the only reason why this palette missed the list is because I do like the Colourpop and Star Wars palette a little bit more than I like the Colourpop and Avatar The Last Airbender palette. I think that this palette is really, really good. I just think the other one has some more unexpected elements, although I will say that these two blues here are quite extraordinary. What I really do like about this palette, and as you can tell, it's still ranked pretty high because I really like it, is that I like that this one that is like a dark brown that's leaning a little bit green. It is like I see it here, I see it like a dark greenish brown. This one is a tone that you can deepen up this one, this one, this one, and this one with this color, and even this one, without it turning too muddy and without it clashing. So for that reason, including this really dark greenish brown was really cool, because you were able to create dramatic looks with each of the other mattes without making it, because some people were saying that they would want this to be a green row, but then you would have a twister palette, then it will be like another rainbow palette, and also you wouldn't have a single color to deepen up the other ones with. So this is kind of a happy middle ground, so that you are able to deepen up the other shades with this one, because it works beautiful as deepening up shade. The only thing I wish that I could change is that I wish that this one would have been a little bit more of a moss green, olive green shimmer. It would have made a little bit more sense for me because we already have a neutral shimmer over here. But these are just nitpicky things. I still think that this is a really good palette, and I really did like the formula in this one. The only reason why I picked the Star Wars one over this one is because I think the Star Wars one brings even more drama. And I like the drama. Still think that this is really good. I don't know if they're going to restock this one or not. Sometimes with collabs, when they're really popular, they sell out. Sometimes they come back, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they come back in a year, I don't know. But if you ever see this one coming back, and if you were interested in this and you were wondering about the quality, it is a good quality palette. I really, really do like it. Let's talk about the Rose Ink Skin Enhanced Luminous Tint Serum. I am surprised at how much I like this, and I would probably be using this every day if it hadn't been, and you can't even tell because it looks like it's gonna be too dark for me, but actually this is a shade too light for me. This is a serum mixed with like bulbs of color that you mix out, and now that you mix it, you can see that it turns into something that's just a shade that's just a hint too light for me, especially when I've been out by the pool. And I just wish that I would have bought this in a shade that is a little bit darker than this, because when I use this on its own on my face looks incredible, but it does look a shade lighter than than the rest of my body. And it's a shame, but like the way your skin just looks luminous and fresh, it looks like you just applied skincare, and for some reason your skincare just made your skin look flawless. That's how it looks. That's how it looks. The product is really good, and I probably should have been a smart cookie and changed this for a different color. I wasn't. I was a dumb cookie and I didn't do that, but I still like the product a lot. I have mine in 050, and I wish I have had this in one shade darker. But it is a beautiful product, and the way it just makes your skin look, it's really, really pretty. Okay, let's take spot number 2. Okay, I'm gonna put these together, but these are the two orangey things that I got from M Cosmetics. This is the first time I'm trying M Cosmetics, and I got the blush in Persimmon, which is a yellowy orange. I love a yellowy orange. And then it is this glowing lip thingy that is called Lip Cushion Tinted Lip Luminizer in Faded Clementine, which is, it's one of those that you twist up. It's like an orange. And it is that kind of orange that I like. A yellow toned orange. It is rare to find stuff that is that yellow toned orange without having a white base, because that is what this is. These are two yellow toned oranges without having a white base, which makes them orange and warm but still wearable. And I really, really like how these are. The only thing that's a bad thing with these, other than that this was limited edition and I don't know if they're restocking it or not, the Persimmon one, but I know that they have this in Faded Clementine as well, and you can see that the Faded Clementine is just a little darker and a little bit more red based than this one. They are pretty expensive. M Cosmetics is a pretty expensive brand, but I do like these. I just wish they weren't so expensive. I just wish they weren't that expensive. I'm actually gonna put this one on the top position, and this is the REM Beauty highlighter. I think this highlighter is stunning. There, I said it. I said what I said. I put a highlighter on top last month, and now I'm putting one on top again. I don't know what's up with that, but I love this highlighter. The only thing is that I wish that this one was a darker shade. Why do I keep buying stuff and then wishing I had bought them in a darker shade? But I actually watched these in store and I saw a shade that's probably better for me. This one is in Miss Mercury, and I think there was another one that was like, I don't remember, but there was another one that was like one shade darker, and I was like, maybe I should get that one instead. This is so wet looking on the skin. Let me see if I can get some. This is a powder highlighter. This is a powder highlighter, but it is just so wet looking on the skin. Look at that. Do you see that? Oh, it is a really, really, really nice product. I think it is stunning. And again, they have a bunch of really fun colors that you don't usually see at Ulta. Purple, mint, yellow, not gold, yellow. And they have a bunch of darker shades as well. And I'm saying a bunch, not just one. They have more than one dark shade, and there's like pink one. There's fun shades, and there are more wearable shades than this one, the Miss Mercury. I'm just saying, I'm very impressed with the packaging, the way that this product is like printed, the names of the products, the shade range of the products, and also the innovation of having some really fun stuff in store. And I feel like sometimes I forget when I'm reviewing stuff that if you have not bought a lot of indie makeup, if you like buying your makeup in store, these are probably going to be some of the most fun and high quality colored highlighters that you're going to see in store. So again, if you are in store, I know that REM Beauty has been getting quite some bad reviews online. Check out the products, and especially check out the highlighters. They are really, really fun, and I can definitely see myself getting another one in the future. Please let me know what have your favorite products been of lately. I'm gonna see what I have next to review, because I do still have a bunch of things to review. I'm gonna try and do these a little bit more often than once a month. Maybe I'll do them once every 3 weeks or something, because I want to get through some things that I am ready to review. And also, like, I use a lot of makeup on my channel, and I'm here to review stuff to help you out, help you in your purchasing decisions, to see what's worth it and also what's not. So it's not about just giving you first impressions and just giving you swatches. I also want to come back later. I want to compare stuff. I want to tell you, like, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, which was my favorite ones, which were the ones that I was really like, yes, so happy I got these. I hope you're having a really, really good day. And yeah, again, Lazy Angie coming at you today. Usually I'm all about the dramatic makeup, but today wasn't that day. I hope you're having a really good day, and I will see you again probably tomorrow for a new video. Bye!